Hey y'all. So welcome back to another one of my podcasts. My name is Venus Sublime. I will be your hostess that you love the mostest. Yes. And accompanying us will be all of the outside noises that you will find in a semi-busy city. My city's not that busy. There's quiet pockets, so I'm actually journeying through a quiet pocket right now, and I wanted to tap in with you all. So I appreciate you all for tuning in, tapping in, showing up for yourself, because as you know, and if you didn't know, something that I will continue to reiterate and perpetuate and say over and over is that I want y'all to know that when you show up, you're actually inspiring others to continue to show up. You know your situation. You know all of the adversity that you may be battling or not. But besides all of those things, you're still having to show up in the best way that you can, right? And when you choose and make that decision in that split moment to decide if you're going to show up or not, or give up on yourself, you've chosen to show up, right? And when you choose to show up, and y'all, that's building up that momentum, you know what I mean, for others to feel inspired in the spirit, feeling in the spirit to continue to show up too. So I wanted to just make a very important emphasis on that dynamic of you showing up. And so, as I show up today, I want to talk about the importance of knowing who we are, the importance of self-image, culture, love. All of these things are all intertwined in a cipher together. And if we really don't know who we are, if we're not really like best friends or fully accustomed to our own energy, fully aware of our own energy, then it will really make it hard for us to sustain who we truly are, our true energy, our true energetic signature, our true character, our true essence. It will be very, very hard for us to sustain and maintain that energy when we come together with other beings, because we're not really dominant with the image in our minds and our makeup of who we really are. Once we're very clear about who we are and what that consists of, then our lives will be very dominant, sure. It will be very clear. And a lot of us, we don't know who we are. We don't have a strong representation of who we might be. You know, because the representations that's out there in the mass media is just pretty much people projecting the best that they can of who they feel that they think that they are, or the best way that they can articulate themselves, their own self-expression. But that's why the knowledge and education of thyself comes into play so very importantly as we journey through life. It's like the basic information that we need is to know who we are. If you're applying for a job somewhere, or you're applying for a relationship or whatever, and you introduce yourself to that person or that job, who are you introducing yourself as? Right? And it's so wild, because it's like most of the time we're introducing ourselves to people that is not really to ourselves. So it's like, who are we really introducing? And then it's like life gives us the opportunity to course correct and peel the layers of the onion of ourselves that's not us, right? Like whatever is not our true resonance, whatever doesn't resonate with us at core, we can let that go because we know that we see, you know, once we continue to seek the knowledge of thyself and to align with that, we'll begin to see that these layers that we're shedding, they're not even really us. They don't really belong to our true core, family, familiar, energetic resonance, you know? And so it's very important for us to get very accustomed to who we are. And that really requires us to spend a lot of time in solitude, which could be very difficult too, because our world is hustle and bustle, and we always have to interact and exchange energies and thoughts and ideas and emotions with others. But when we do have that time to really unplug from other energy sources and plug into the direct source, as we're sitting with ourselves and source, a lot of our energies reveal to us of who we are and what we hold in our energetic ciphers, what we hold in our DNA makeup, what we hold in our inner being worlds. We will start to become more aware of what's there inside of our own systems, what's available to us, what are our gifts, our visions, our purpose, based off of like our true heart's desire, our capabilities, our specialties. You know what I mean? Everybody here in this earth realm has a position to play. And that doesn't make it, quote unquote, better or worse or superior or less superior, more important or less important, because we all play a divine purpose for this orchestration of life in this divine orchestra, right? And so everybody's position is important. You know what I mean? There's custodians of this land that are very essential, very important. They talk about like the scarab, the dung beetle, and how, people might not want to have their job. Beings might not want to go be reincarnated or whatever they believe. They don't want to end up as having to experience life in that type of way from that aspect. Imagine living a life just having to push shit around. You're shoveling shit, pushing shit. And it's like other people might look at it like, damn, I don't want to do that, or that's not important. But that's actually very important. Who else is going to do that? Do you know if you don't get rid of the shit, then that blocks you from being able to be clear about anything? That's why they cloud us and poison us with the food supply, so we can't be clear in our guts. Our guts, it causes us to be backed up and full of shit. And if our guts are full of shit, that's supposed to be our sensory brain. How can we use our sensory brain to feel into the vibrations of what's around us and tap into our inner lie detector, our inner compass or not? How can we be able to have a strong connection and discern the messages that we're receiving from that if we can't more so see it, we just can feel it, And so our feelings become desensitized when we eat this crap that they give us, which is all in divine order, you know what I mean? And well, I want to say like in divine order to the way of how it helps us to wake up to ourselves, right? But it's all a sort of order. And when we come to understand our own order, our own energetic system, our own emotions, our own thought processes, our own lineages, you know what I mean? Even if you don't know who your mom and your dad is, or your your grandmother and grandfather or any of those things. The purpose of you not knowing it is for you to find out, is for you to align with those answers of what you need. And so when we're able to align with that, and we set that out, that's our focus, that we want to find more information. Okay, now I'm ready to get on this journey of knowledge of thyself and uncovering my history, herstory, my blueprint of existence. You know what I mean? Like, once you start to get yourself onto that timeline, the information will start to pop up. And you'll have, it's like, you know what I mean, breadcrumbs leading you to more information. And that's the only time you should really accept breadcrumbs, yeah? Is when the divine is leading us to something, to the whole big bread. The whole reward at the end of us following these different clues, putting it together, putting so much focus and energy and efforts to staying true to our natural core essence, you know what I mean? And not just blindly living a life accepting the identity that's been given to us, when inside of ourselves, our whole full system, there's a whole different experience going on in our mini-verse, you know, as we together join in this universe. But it's like in this own mini-verse going on inside of us, it's like, yo, I don't see how that can make sense. I don't see where the dots connect. I don't see where this came from that. You know what I mean? So it's like our internal selves will always reveal to us what is the truth, because God is within us. And so this is why it is very essential for us to really become accustomed to our own natural energetic signature, our own true essence, scent, spirit, all of who we are. We must study this and become a student and steward of that. And then when we can be able to master that, then anything else we come in contact with in this dance and engagement in life, we can be able to show up as our sovereign energy, our very potent, specific signature, and we can be able to complement our environments, right? We can build with our print. But it's hard for us to build with the print that we can't read, and we don't know that it's even ours or that it exists, right? So basically, it's very important for us to have education of thyself. It starts off with knowing that, okay, I need to know more about me, and then better educating myself about all of who I am, and asking for help, and not just tangible physical help from people, but from spirit, from God, and listening into yourself, because God is within us. The God force source energy dwells from within us, and it confirms to us, with us, what is true and what is not. But when we're so disconnected and desensitized from ourselves, from that natural energetic bond, you know what I mean? It's going to be very hard to vibrationally confirm or get answers, get clear answers, or be guided and led in the righteous way that best suits our well-being. You know what I mean? Because obviously the world that's in momentum right now, playing out, is the momentum of what works best for those main energies, and that distorted the identity of who we are. And so that will always put us back into a place of power, a place of certainty. It will eradicate fear, because we know why we're here, and we know that we're indestructible when it comes to us being energetic spiritual beings, and that we're always guided and led every step of the way. We're not truly alone, but we feel alone when we start eating these foreign foods that's foreign to our bodies, that distorts our bodies and makes us become further and further away from home, from ourselves, right? It's like our soul leaves out of our body because it's like our soul is like, dang, I gotta abandon ship. It's not even designed for me anymore. It's like hijacked, you know what I mean? So this is why I will always talk about the importance of education of thyself. And if anybody needs some assistance or some type of just spiritual support, a listening ear, someone that is very versed in this whole spiral of self-mastery and coming into acceptance, full acceptance and inner union with myself, I feel like I wish I had somebody to be there to not hold my hand, but I mean, hey, and if we do need that sometimes, because that's why as children, you know, that would have been healthy to hold our parents' hands and stuff like that, you know, to have that type of really safety, like affirmation of safety. And so we can think about it like that, like I'll hold your energetic hand through the process, you know, and really highlight certain things within the psyche that can help overcome barriers and blocks that are really not barriers and blocks. They're just blindsided, like blindsided black holes, or I'll say, yeah, like a blindsiding black holes, right? But once we begin to identify these blindsiding black holes, they no longer can blindside us. We will no longer be available or qualified to be sucked into these black holes, because we can stand clearly, sternly, firmly in the education and knowledge of thyself of who we are, and call out, identify these black holes. And then when we identify them, the path is clear as to what it really is, and it no longer can hold weight over us. But we must begin in knowledge of thyself. So if you would like to work with me and me holding space with you, email me at venussublime333@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe and share this message with everyone. Everyone deserves to hear this and feel supported. And you help this page grow and help the message expand out to all the soulful beings that have been in a deep slumber and that just needs to feel this vibration of home and support and security, to feel safe, to just wake up out of the shell that we've all been in for many years, decades, eons of however it's been, but now it ends with us. So I give thanks for everyone who's tuning in with this message, to this message being present and available within yourself to receive this message. I give thanks for you showing up for yourself, and I give thanks for you choosing to love on yourself, choosing to not surrender to the identity of others, but to give yourself permission to fully move forward assertively in the unraveling and unfolding of knowing more of who you really are, discovery, self-discovery, and being a powerful force to be reckoned with on this earth afterwards, moving forward, building and tending, being stewards of this land in a beneficial versus superficial type of building. And so thank you all for tuning in. And until we meet next time, it's your God is Venus Sublime. Like, share, and subscribe. You can find me on Instagram, Venus Sublime, everywhere. Ashe. I thought there was something else to share, but I feel like that's enough for now. I love you all. So much love. Peace and grace.